Hello responsible day traders, hope you're doing well. This is Jason G and this is your market weekly rundown, coming at you at the end of the Monday trading day. Today is 27th of March 2023. A little bit late for the weekly rundown. Usually we like to have it out before market open on a Monday, but I'm covering this one for Lindsay today. And we're going to start by, as we always do, taking a look at the news, and then we're going to do a little bit market analysis, look at what's happened today and what we can expect, look for some ideas of what's going to be happening this week. So let's start with jumping over to Responsible Day Trading website, responsibledaytrading.com. And if you don't know already, we've got the live news feed here, right? So you can just click on news, put in your filters, your days, what you're interested in here. I've got the US news because obviously we're looking at the S&P500, so this is really what I'm interested in. And I've filtered in the high volatility expected news, so basically red news events that I'm interested in for this week. So Monday was quiet, then tomorrow we have consumer confidence, 9 a.m. Wednesday we have home sales, crude oil inventories, that'll be a big one. Thursday GDP, fourth quarter jobless claims. And then on Friday, we got this core PCE price index. So a few news events that should cause some volatility in the market environment. If you're not someone that's used to trading around news, then just be mindful of those times. You want to be sitting on the sidelines, sort of 15 minutes before any big news event like this, and then wait till the market calms down, wait till the news is out. You get a lot of volatility, a lot of spiky price action, for us, especially, with people that trade with low risk amounts, then, we definitely want to stay away from that. So just wait till it calms down, maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes afterwards, and you should be good to get back involved with the market. So while I'm here on the website, I'm just going to jump over to the main page and just highlight, if you're not aware already, we are having our first RDT seminar. Woohoo! Awesome stuff. We've been waiting a long time for this. This is on April the 28th to the 30th in Houston, Texas. I'm looking forward to flying out there. And if you are interested in something like this, then all you have to do is click on this link here and you can find more information about that. So our first annual RDT live seminar, we're all going to be there. Lindsay, myself, Angelina, the whole crew is going to be there. It's over the weekend, and it's a 3-day seminar over the weekend, and it's set up for new students that are totally new, have always wanted to learn how to trade. The curriculum's included, the normal curriculum you would get, but you also get to join the seminar and get that sort of more supportive environment for learning the curriculum, so sort of one-on-one coaching with that. And then for the current coaching students, they're also able to join us there as well. And you've got everything you need to know here. 31 days time. This is the schedule. Reserve your spot. This is a little bit more detail about the actual lineup and what we're going to be covering on these days. So yeah, check it out. Reserve your spot. The closer we get to the actual seminar date, the more the price goes up, and that's just to cover last minute expenses. So try and get booked in as early as possible. Right, so enough of promoting that. I'm going to move on to what you're all here for, and that is to look at the markets, right? So let's take a look at the S&P500. We're going to start, as I always do, on the daily chart. So let me just open that up, and I'll make it full screen so you can all see it nice and clear. Okay, so if you didn't know already, these are tick charts, and each one of these bars you see here represents 1 day in the market. So this is a daily chart, okay? So we have, what you're seeing here is probably 3 years worth of trading. Here is about 900 days on here, right? So we're only really interested in what's going on over here and sort of to the left, significant areas. For a very long time, we were inside this trend channel to the downside, and then we broke out of it sometime in beginning of the year, January, February. I've marked out these support, resistance and support areas here, or support and resistance areas, which are quite significant to price anyhow. So you can see we've bounced off these a few times, and we bounced off of it again, and we found some support there. This is an area that it's quite a large range, because we're looking at the daily, you know, anywhere between 39.58 and I'd say close to 4,000 almost, is this sort of support range here. So what we did was we, you know, the last few days or couple weeks, we pulled down, moved back to this area, this previous area that's had sort of significant support and resistance over multiple months, and we put in a flag reversal pivot. This is a really nice reversal pattern, sort of 3-bar pattern, which is usually pretty strong indication on its own of a potential change in direction, even for a sort of short-term bounce or small scalp move. But when you've got it lined up with previously significant support area that just holds more weight to it, I was really expecting to pull down a bit deeper here to the outer trend channel, but my line might just be off here, right? So if I just adjust this a little bit here, see, you know, we can bring that in basically. I mean, it's still picking up these pivots here more accurately, I'd say now. So that makes sense. I haven't moved this around for a while, but regardless, you know, we bounced off of that, and we bounced off the support area, putting the flag reversal. And in terms of the MACDs, you know, after a strong move down, fairly strong move down, broke through the 0 line, and then we're starting to sort of dip inside here, inside the Bollinger Bands now. So where can we go in terms of the daily chart? Now, when we look at the lower time frames, we're going to have a bit of a better idea for the coming sort of shorter term, tomorrow, the next day, and so on. But we're looking at a higher time frame, like this daily chart. Then really, you know, we're looking at moving between these two areas here for now. So this is the top of the range, I would say. Well, we might just move up and down here. Now, that's still quite some distance right there. I mean, that's 200 and something points away, so it could take a while to get up here. But we can expect, if we do get up there, to have some sort of reaction at this area, similar to what you've seen here before, sort of multiple days hanging around here. You can see that's happened numerous times. These couple of occasions it didn't, it just bounced straight off it. So we're retesting this area, or potentially at the moment we're testing this area of support, but you know, if we move up towards here, we would be retesting this area. Then we want to see what happens when we get there. That may not happen in the next week, it might take a few weeks. We'll see. Sometimes news can be really good to get things moving, you know, in the right direction. We have put in some support outside of this trend channel, so you know, if we're gonna go, we've got to make a break for it now, and we've got to start really making some headway to the upside if that's the way it's gonna go. But my feeling is that it's going to be sort of short-lived move to the upside. You got to remember that, you know, still what is important is this, you know, pretty significant trend to the downside that's been going on for, you know, since beginning of 2022 or even the end of 2021. So a big strong move to the downside, and in the bigger picture side of things, this is just a little, most likely just a little move to the upside, just a little, you know, pull down. This is probably a pullback, So the other scenario is that, you know, we start to head back into the trend channel. Now this trend channel might be deleted by that time, you know, things start to change. This is a historical trend channel. Now we've broken out of it. Doesn't really mean it's going to be valid anymore, but the next area to be looking at once we return, if we do break into this channel here, would be this support area here. So you'll find that around 38, 31. We might bounce off of that. Yeah, who knows how long it's going to take. Could take days, could take a few weeks. Keeping an eye on it. MACDs, it's still quite early to say how this is going to play out. You really want to see a couple more strong moves to the upside. A few more BBs plotted here to get an idea on how strong that move is looking. In terms of the EMAs, you know, we've had strong EMAs to the downside for a while, then they went flat here, really flat and weak, and then we got a sort of crossover there, right? You can see how it crossed over. So just bring you in a bit on this. Yeah, we've got the crossover, could easily cross back over again. So we might just see something like we saw over here, which is a slight crossover and then continue to the downside. Something like that. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. So I'm really all going to be based on fundamentals. So keep an eye out for what's happening in the news. What I could say is that, you know, we are, in terms of the BBs, we are below the zero line. So that's a good thing and a good sign for if you're looking for some more down as well. We don't have any divergence that to mention of. You can see all these pivots are pretty much lined up. The MACDs are in tune with price. There was previously a bit of a divergence across these two pivots, but nothing at the moment. So, you know, we are on the outside of that channel. So I'm looking, and we do have quite significant support areas. So I am keeping an eye out. I'd say for some more up towards this top end here, but it could easily fail. And if there's any sort of major failure here, rejection trying to move up, then yes, we're definitely coming down to retest this area and probably going to break through. That's kind of my expectation for this. But as ever, these are just, you know, we're just sort of creating some narratives here and setting the potential expectations in a number of different scenarios, and you know, the market will tell us each and every day what we should be doing and what looks like the greatest probability in terms of direction, right? So let's move on to the next lower time frame I want to take a look at. That's the 28,657. Okay, so I've drawn another little channel, just picking up some of the, and this is something I like to do, you know, just picking up some of the pivots that react to these areas, right? So just starting from here, you can see there's a fair amount of, you know, you're always going to get like overruns and attempted breakouts, but you know, when you can sort of pick up quite a few support and resistance within a trend channel like this, then it gives you pretty good confidence that it does exist and that you've kind of technically marked it out fairly correctly. So you can see what happened here, right? We had these two previous pivots. This is the last week, okay? So more zoomed in on the 28,657. This is the last since the 24th of February here. So yeah, last 3 days, this area here. And you know, this was a dynamic support zone that we pretty much to the tick. You can see this is very accurate in terms of a support zone. Pretty much just bounced straight off it and moved to the upside. We've got the crossover on the EMA, and if you look at the angle of those two pivots, you know, we've got a definitely got a lower low there, but if you look at what happened on the MACDs, we've got the divergence, right? So we've got the higher low over here. So as we saw this bounce, you know, then maybe if you're paying attention to this chart and you started to see the slow and the roll of the BBs with the divergence, and we've got a really good retracement divergence signal right here. Okay, so we've got the pullback, nothing showed up on the MACDs, it just skidded off the outside, and that can really, you know, be a good entry signal. So I personally wasn't trading this at the time, but looking at it obviously in hindsight, all the writing was on the wall there. There's a lot of good opportunities and good signals there, convergence of information, right? So we broke through the zero line, pumped straight through these EMAs, and moving up to this 50% line on the trend channel. You know, I would have expected a bit more of a reaction here really, but we didn't get it. So just push straight through it. Now, looking at this chart, I would say the next stop for us is got to be up here, right? So just change this tool. Where are we? So currently we're at 40.79. The next stop there is at 41.18. So we're talking 38 points away from this point to this point. It's totally doable in the next 24 hours, 48 hours, especially with some news coming out. So I would say that is a key area, 41.20 and 1 to 41.18 to 41.20, and that is one to definitely pay attention to as we approach it. There isn't that much more going on between where we are now and that point there. If I try and pick out some sort of traditional support areas, there's one there, right? You can see that support. So I would be paying attention to this as well. I don't know how well you can see that. Let me just draw it with a rectangle so you can see it clearer. But yeah, we're approaching that area there. We're not far off it. Now that is an area to pay attention to as well. But given the strength of the move, where is that? That's around 8-9 points away from where we are currently. Given the strength of the move, we could just push straight through that, like it's not even there. If we look to the hard left, we have shown some previous respect whenever we've sort of reached that area and bounced off of it a few times, but it has been strong support. Let's see what happens. If we break through that area, next stop, I would say without any shadow of a doubt, is 41.18. Been proven wrong many times, so I'll just put that little caveat out there, right? This is not trading or financial advice. This is just me and my perspective on the markets, right? What I see, what I think. I'm definitely not telling you to go long and throw the whole boat in, but just keep an eye out for these areas, right? So if we do get up there, then we want to see what happens when we get here. If we could turn around, come back down, or we could just push straight through here, straight to that area, or maybe something like that where we push through, pull back, and then move to the outside of that trend channel. Any one of those scenarios can play out, but hopefully the MACDs is going to, when you understand them well enough, along with just the way we look at the markets in terms of this total multiple time frame perspective, you're going to get the information you need to know which way things are going to play out as it all unfolds, right? Those is what I would say would be the likely scenarios. But just popping back to the daily chart, given the fact that there's not too much going on in this sort of no man's zone here, no real respect inside this area here. This is a long way away where there was any sort of selling going on previously. That would give me a bit of a bias to continue on to the upside, I would say. We also have the significant divergence there really strong move to the upside. Overall, currently we are, finding some support and moving up. So just keep that in mind. I'm not making you dizzy with these charts. Just trying to get it all out there for you to see. Right, so next chart. Okay, let's just have a quick look at the MACDs here. Super strong move to the upside. I mean, it's hasn't barely pulled back. Minimum pullbacks here, minimum retracements. We've still got a nice big distance away from the. Let's use another tool. Nice big distance away from the. Which one do we want? That one. EMAs. We are pulling well away from them. Really solid, strong crossover on the EMAs. You can just see there's a lot of bars all closing high here, high. So ton of strength to the upside. What are the MACDs saying? The BBs, we did get a bit of a slowdown in this area here, but again that was to be expected as we pull back and bounce off of this 50 line, and then things got a little bit choppy, but we are just pushing on up. We are getting a color change here. If this goes really white, it's a good indication of a change in the strength of the trend, right? That's what our magic BBs do, right? So we'll see. We're going to get a lot of extra information tomorrow as to how this is going to play out. Okay, moving on to 10.946. So yeah, just a quick look at this one, just to show you, really you can see in a bit more detail that strength on the move to the upside. We're getting some sort of signs of exhaustion in terms of these BBs and the MACDs. We might get a deeper sort of pullback. Could be coming up, I'm not sure. This doesn't always play out anyway with such strength to the upside. The price can just keep going, and the MACDs will have to catch up somehow, or they won't, and then the price will turn around and come back down. But at some point, I'd be expecting, as you can see, this is the nearest area here that I mentioned on the 28,657. We're not far away. Oops. At some point we can expect some respect, or at least a bounce off of maybe this area here, which is around 10 points away, 10, 11 points away at 40.90, 91. Let's see what happens when it gets there. If we get more weakness on these MACDs, on the BBs here, and then a nice strong color change, maybe we could be looking for a snapback opportunity, maybe something like that from somewhere up here. Definitely seeing that sort of weakness here on the BBs against the price. But yeah, keep an eye on it. Let's see how it opens up tomorrow, and let's see what the pre-market price action looks like as well. I'm actually disconnected at the moment, so that's it from me, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you've learned something, and if you have any questions, make sure you can drop a comment, and I will try my best to reach out back to you. And keep in mind about this seminar that I mentioned. If you're interested, you can always set up a call with us and have a chat. You can find us across all social media, Instagram, Facebook accounts, and YouTube channel here. So yeah, that's it for me. This is the Monday weekly rundown. Today is Monday 27th of March 2023, and I'm Jason G, Responsible Day Trading. Have a great trading week, trade well, and take care out there, guys, and see you soon.